Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel, VPK Nutrition, Modern Vedic Integrative Wellness. Inflammation is the word that we hear very commonly nowadays. Now, inflammation has been connected to so many of our chronic conditions, starting from heart disease to diabetes, skin issues, autoimmune diseases, and digestive disorders, and even mood disorders like anxiety, depression, etc. What most people don't understand or realize is that this inflammation, which we talk about, is not the acute inflammation that supports our body and helps us heal, but this is actually the slow growing, silent inflammation that eventually leads to disease. And this can just manifest as simple things like overall malaise or fatigue, brain fog, digestive disorders like gas, bloating, constipation, anxiety, sleep problems, or even just a feeling of not having enough energy in spite of trying to adopt a good, healthy lifestyle. So in today's episode, I wanted to talk about what is inflammation, how does it develop, and what it does in the body. And we look at it from both from a modern perspective as well as from an Ayurvedic lens. So we will see how this inflammation is related to the three different doshas and how it can manifest in those kind of imbalances. And also, most importantly, we'll talk about some natural ways to help us calm down the inflammation through diet, lifestyle, herbs, and some simple practices that you can start right away. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. First of all, I want to thank all of my subscribers and my viewers for being here with me. And also, if you haven't already done so, please do consider subscribing. And if you find this video useful, please do share it with others that can be benefited. Let's begin with our topic today. What is inflammation? Now, inflammation is our body's natural defense and recovery system. It is necessary to protect our body from things like, if you have a cut, if you have an infection or there's a muscle strain, then the immune system creates inflammation in order for the body to heal and recover and get back to balance. This is called acute inflammation, and this is very much necessary for us to, this is the body's intelligence which helps to protect the body and necessary for good health. However, the problem begins when this mechanism does not shut off after this acute phase and continues to grow at a low level silently, causing stress to the body. And later on, modern research has shown that this low-grade inflammation actually causes a lot of the chronic diseases that we face today. These can include things like heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, arthritis, skin diseases, neurodegenerative conditions, and so on. I got fascinated by this topic, inflammation. Recently, I read a book called Silent Fire, written by a gastroenterologist and nutritionist, Dr. Shilpa Ravella, and I wanted to share a couple of quotes from her book to explain what modern medicine and also Ayurveda believes about inflammation. And again, the book is amazing because it traces back decades back, or even like over a century, when scientists have been doing research on this topic of inflammation, although it has gained popularity only in the modern times because of all of the chronic illnesses we face today, especially with people living longer and longer. There are two quotes that I'd like to share from this book, Silent Fire, which I thought is very relevant. Number one is on hidden inflammation, the main problem that causes a lot of the chronic illnesses today. Hidden inflammation, which seeds quietly in the body before triggering or intensifying a wide variety of disorders, may lie at their core. This quote underscores the concept that silent inflammation may be the cause of a lot of the diseases that we face today. Second quote is on gut microbiome and inflammation. Gut microbiome shapes immune responses during health and disease, fine-tuning the magnitude and duration of inflammation like puppeteers. This illustrates the intricate connection between the gut microbiome, and I have talked about gut microbiome and how to have a better gut in a different video, which I will share the description. So this shows the linkage between gut microbiome and inflammation and how this can lead to diseases. So again, this goes very well with the Ayurvedic concept of digestion, because Ayurveda places a lot of emphasis on how digestion is important. And if you don't have good digestion, this may lead to the formation of toxins or ama, which in turn causes inflammation. As you can see, there is a lot of correlation between modern research and Ayurveda when it comes to inflammation. Both of them emphasize the importance of taking care of our digestion, our gut health, and improving the gut health, and also reducing inflammation by reducing the toxins in the body. So, from a modern perspective, the diet that is very closely related to reducing inflammation is the Mediterranean diet. The highlight of this diet is that choosing whole foods always. Recently, I was in Greece, and also have been to Turkey before that, which are all Mediterranean countries. And when I see their food, it is always so fresh and so healthy. They always have tomatoes and cucumbers and olives, things that are very healthy and also grown locally. So we want to choose things like fresh fruits and vegetables. They say eat the rainbow, so have a variety. Again, choose them in season. Number two, maybe eat some whole grains, then nuts and seeds, and healthy fats like olive oil. And also, if you are a non-vegetarian, fish is definitely more preferable to any of the other meats, because that is easier to digest. Also, we want to avoid certain things like ultra processed foods, deep fried foods, trans fats, and refined sugars. So it is clear that both modern medicine and Ayurveda advocate whole foods and avoiding ultra processed foods. In modern lifestyle, people are always busy running around, and the main complaint is they don't have the time for this kind of thing. This is where I think preparation is very important, and because we know that if you don't take care of yourself right now, you're going to end up with problems later on in life. So healing it doesn't have to be just adding some superfoods to your diet, but it's more about consistently making the right choices with whole foods, and sticking to that schedule so you keep your body in balance. Let's look at it from an Ayurvedic lens. Now, Ayurveda recognizes thousands of years ago that everything was related to our digestion and how we process our food, our emotions, etc. So it looks at not just the food digestion, but also our mental digestion and all of that. So generally, if your digestion is not working properly, let's say you have a low Agni, then your digestion becomes very sluggish, and this leads to toxins to build up. But if your Agni is too high, Tikshana Agni, then it starts to cause a lot of heat in the body, leading to inflammation. This can lead to heartburn and hyperacidity, which eats at the intestinal layers, causes gut leaking, and then again these undigested material called ama starts to go through the bloodstream to the different parts of the body, leading to inflammation. And this was called Shofa in Ayurveda. So regardless of whether you have a low Agni or a high Agni, inflammation can happen, and this can lead to some of the diseases I talked about before. So we want to have a balanced Agni in order to fight this inflammation, get rid of this chronic inflammation, and feel healthy again. Let's look at some practical guidelines for diet and lifestyle according to Ayurveda. Number one is choose a meal plan or food or diet that is suitable for your body constitution and the symptoms that you have. If you feel dry and depleted, then naturally you want to nourish yourself and have more grounding foods, Vata pacifying diet. If you are more heated, then you want to cool the system and calm it down to subside the inflammation, Pitta pacifying diet. And if you feel very sluggish and slow and swollen, then you want to follow a Kapha pacifying diet, improving the digestion. Now, I have done detailed videos on all of these three things, and I will share the link in the description so you can go and later on watch it depending on your condition. But overall, if you want a general guideline, eat a light breakfast in the morning, which is usually savory and not sweet or heavy. Eat a main meal for lunchtime, and again, the dinner time should also be very light, and also 3 hours before you go to bed, so digestion takes place properly. So once you're aware of what problems you're having, what kind of symptoms you're facing, then it is much easier to choose the appropriate diet and lifestyle that will help to pacify that problem. If you follow this consistently over a period of time, you will start seeing improvement in your energy level and how you're digesting things and how you feel overall well-being. Number two is support digestion and remove toxins. If you want to start at one place, start at improving your digestion. You can sip warm water all through the day to cleanse the system. You can use spices like ginger, cumin, coriander, fennel in cooking, or make herbal teas with that. You can avoid snacking all through the day and eliminate all junk food. Number four is tongue scraping that you can do in the morning to remove a lot of the mycotoxin buildup. So you don't need extreme measures to improve digestion. You just need simple things like this, but consistently do it every day to see any kind of improvement. Number three is simple home remedies. Everything is available in your kitchen. So you can use cooling spices for inflammation like turmeric, coriander, fennel, fenugreek. All of these things help to cool the system. Number two would be chewing some fennel seeds after each meal. So this not only helps with the digestion, but also helps to cool the body. Number three would be using some coriander or fennel seeds, soak it at night, and then drink the water in the morning. You don't have to heat it up. It's just drinking room temperature water. You can filter the water and drink just the water, or you can eat the spices as well. Number four, if your digestion is very sluggish, then you can have some hot herbal teas by soaking some of these spices or boiling them in some hot water and then steeping it for about 10 minutes and then filter it and sip it all through the day. These are some simple things that you can do right away. And again, consistency is very important. So pay attention to your symptoms and see if these things are helping you or not. Now, a lot of people tend to buy these over-the-counter herbs like ashwagandha and triphala and self-medicate themselves. This is very important to remember. Ayurveda is an individualized medicine, and what can help for one person may be very aggravating for another person. So do not self-medicate, and if you want to take any of these things, consult with an Ayurvedic doctor to tell you what is right for your body and your symptoms. Number four is calm the nervous system. Now, inflammation is not just all about food, but it is also about the stress that we have, which causes a nervous system shutdown or dysregulation. So here we're living in a modern world where we're constantly stimulated, constantly doing too many things, multitasking, scrolling, social media, distracted eating, rushing all the time, and not actually taking the time to relax. So the nervous system stays in this low-grade stress all through the day, which starts to affect the digestion, our hormones, and also inflammation over a long period of time. Even unresolved emotional baggage, loneliness, overgiving, chronic overgiving can all affect our body and make inflammation a whole lot worse. And we've talked about relationship stress and all of those things in the last few videos, and even those things contribute to our inflammation and our nervous system dysregulation. So we need to do certain things to keep our nervous system calm. Walking in nature is very calming. Pranayama and alternate nostril breathing is very good for the nervous system. Doing even like 5 to 10 minutes of yogasana practice, which more like grounding practices and moving slowly, would be very helpful. And the same thing can apply to Tai Chi as well. Even 5 to 10 minutes of quiet time sitting in meditation can help to calm the mind. Abhyanga or self oil massage with some warm sesame oil or coconut oil, depending on the season, or a combination of the two, can actually help with the vata balancing and calming the nervous system. And then finally, keeping our emotional, mental well being healthy is very important. And as we talked about in the relationship videos, make sure you have those boundaries that to protect your mental and emotional health, and also do not do over giving, and learn to say no when your body does not have the bandwidth to keep going. Number five is respect your body's rhythms. Now, again, we need to follow a certain, everything in nature is very rhythmic, as we know the circadian rhythm. And similarly, our body also feels much better when you follow a certain rhythm. And this is where the dosha clock comes into play. And I have done a detailed video about this, talking about the times of the day and what is the optimum time for eating, for sleeping, and also for doing activities. Now, again, sleep is a very important thing that most people ignore. People stay up too late at night, and so the digestion is messed up. The cortisol levels are higher, that leads to a lot of weight gain. So again, we're not processing our emotions, our thoughts, etc. if you're not sleeping on time, and this ends up having more emotional toxins in the body. It is more about consistency rather than perfection. So pick a few of these things and make a sankalpa or a vow to follow them consistently every day, because then you will see the improvement over a period of time. Again, don't rush through this, and if you fall back sometimes, it's okay. You can get up and then start over again. Be kind to yourself, compassionate to yourself, but you have to work on this today to have a better health tomorrow. As always, listen to your body, observe your mind, and heal yourself. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you again with another episode very soon. Have a wonderful day.